Google PPC, content or search. When promoting with pay-per-click, Google gives the sponsor two wide choices. Publicizing in query items, promoting in sites content, or without a doubt many decide to do both. Promoting in pursuit implies that outcomes are shown in Google under inquiries, and in its merchants query items. Google content promoting applies to those sites who decide to fuse AdSense into their sites. As AdSense quickly grows, it is presently perceptible on large number of site pages all through the web. Nonetheless, numerous publicists are avoiding this for simply publicizing in indexed lists. There are a few explanations behind this, and the first is trust. This has been an aftereffect of more modest sites, through to AdSense domains deciding to leave on click fraud. Despite the fact that this issue happens in inquiry, it is far less prevailing. The individuals who submit click fraud on Hunt are those attempting to debilitate a contender's ROI. With AdSense the equivalent applies, alongside the site proprietor attempting to expand his incomes utilizing comparable strategies. Another motivation behind why site proprietors are deciding to advertise out with content is the inspiration of the purchaser when he is on a site. Somebody who is on an alternate site, other than the promoters, may be there for altogether various reasons. For instance, a site talking about the weaknesses of AdSense would really restore adverts for those selling AdSense websites, for instance. Individuals may tap on it, however they are probably not going to purchase subsequent to perusing a negative audit. The other explanation could be that the individual on the AdSense site was really searching for what is the best shading palette to utilize. The individual along these lines would not discover the advert important, yet may tap on the advert in a joyful way. AdSense sites are likewise frequently dismissed by the publicist since they feel it includes more organization. Checking through sites to perceive how pertinent they are, and altering their offers to guarantee they actually show up on a page. With certain words having an organization of more than 500 sites, it is without a doubt a repetitive and costly undertaking. Despite the fact that this is the situation, numerous additionally find that their AdWords account returns sites that don't give off an impression of being attempting to help their catchphrases. The model which is ready are those promoting under legitimate expressions who show up on AdSense sites, terms and conditions, and security strategy pages. Albeit many are dismissing content publicizing, there are as yet the individuals who feel it gives a comparative ROI to look. An explanation behind this can be found through in the way that an ever-increasing number of publicists are just picking search. As this happens, the sponsor has less rivalry, so the cost of the word diminishes. Sponsors are additionally finding a decent ROI from distributors' sites who choose to effectively advance the promoter's administrations inside their substance. An illustration of this can be acknowledged from when somebody is talking about printing administrations, and quite suggests the promoter's administrations. This is a positive move for both the distributor and the sponsor, and a decent path for distributors to push ahead. Regardless of this, distributors actually need to recall to not be too clear in doing this, or clever purchasers will compute the distributor's aim. Another motivation behind why promoters are picking content is to expand their scale. Anyway, this should likewise be possible across other web indexes. The reality anyway still exists that the individuals who pick content publicizing ought to pick the Google AdSense network. It is controlled far or more yuppies and others counterparts, while its boss organization of distributors implies the sponsors will profit by having the option to spread their message through an assorted scope of sites. In spite of AdSense being the best PPC content wholesaler, it surely doesn't measure up to look for the sponsor. On inquiry, the leads are more qualified, more managed, and less false. This has seen promoters reliably pick search over substance. Regardless of this, present sponsors ought to consistently test AdSense and check whether it can give the ROI they are searching for. A few sponsors state that substance gives a superior revisitation of their business than search. This fluctuates, anyway. When all is said and done, Hunt remains king for PPC promoters. How AdSense changed the internet. Since the time Google thought of the expert thought that is AdSense, the web has changed in an assortment of ways nobody would have ever suspected. A portion of these are acceptable changes, others aren't. This is a little investigation of how a splendid advertising plan has surprised the web. It manages the progressions publicists and distributors and even site guests have gone through since the time AdSense has become an everyday piece of our online lives. Indeed, even before AdSense came out, many individuals were promoting through AdWords. It guaranteed a great deal of exposure through getting your site recorded at the top in Google search questions. It removed a great deal of the agony and cost of SEO and the huge measure of time you needed to stand by until you were at last on top. It made dispatching a site a reasonable method to moment benefit rather than a drawn-out system with no quick returns. Using AdSense, the chance showed up of having your promotions show up on pretty much any web page on the internet that has whatever even takes after your organization is about. As it's consequently that AdSense has carried another feeling of promoting to the internet. Before PPC ineffectively positioned website pages needed to promote disconnected to get any genuine starting introduction. Organizations at this point don't need to enlist costly experts to make incredibly expound promoting efforts. There are no significant expenses of running your advertisements on sites which you need to buy and by search for. Everything you do is thought of several important words for your business, join with Google AdWords and let Google deal with the remainder of the condition. In spite of the fact that it expects everyday administration, robotization spares huge time for promoters. Obviously, most likely the biggest change in the manner in which the internet works because of AdSense comes from the distributor's perspective. Though one would beforehand need to go through the motions to get a site to try and support itself. Currently, individuals are making fortunes off their locales. This prompts inspiration for substance and assets for web surfers. That by and large methods site distributors need to stress more over what substance lies on their site, and the general way their pages look rather than be worried about the monetary particulars of keeping up a site's benefit. Despite the fact that time has put resources into AdSense, a huge capital speculation isn't. It's nothing unexpected that the writing for a blog wonder detonated when AdSense came out a couple of years prior. Anybody could simply compose a page about a subject he was enthusiastic about and earning enough to pay the bills out of it through AdSense. Also, thirdly, one can't overlook the effect AdSense has had over the easygoing ordinary web surfer. While individuals used to not notification flags through and through, which mentally is a fascinating thing to notice, the circumstance is totally extraordinary for text advertisements. Individuals these days will investigate a supported promotion. Why? Well, on the grounds that the entire arrangement delivers a sentiment of certainty about the sponsor. Individuals don't disregard a book promotion as effectively as they do a graphical pennant. Something else to note is that graphical pennants have become even less beneficial these days. It is a result of this that numerous individuals are leaving associate sort organizations to AdSense. Obviously, there are terrible impacts too, with individuals making sites exclusively to run AdSense on them, and similarly also, with an enormous marvel of click misrepresentation, individuals making counterfeit snaps for different reasons. Yet, Google attempts to control such conduct, and truly isn't to be accused for such people's activities. All things considered, Google AdSense is changing the manner in which the internet works, and it's doing so generally positively. Presently, those with thoughts can record them, and bring in cash from them. Those searching for substance can think that it's simpler, and those hoping to pull in a client base can do as such in a focused-on manner. AdSense has changed the web through supporting the monetary interests of organizations, and the utility of customers.